Wow, look, fuel almost $3 a gallon in just a few days after the new commander and thief took office. That's awesome. Well, that's what it stated on Facebook. Let's find out if that is true. It's time to trust but verify. Hello from Washington, D.C., our national capital. I'm Chuck Kyle, a 30-year strategic planner, strategic communications expert, retired intelligence officer, and a D.C. transplant from West Virginia. One of the keys to maintaining the White House in 2024 is administration's performance with the economy. According to Professor Lichtman, author of Predicting the Next President, the rule of thumb is that a good economy helps the incumbent party, and a lousy economy hurts. A good economy does not guarantee the White House, yet a bad one? No incumbent administration has won re-election in any of the 10 elections in which the economy was in a recession during the fall campaign. This includes the Trump administration. Now, of course, gas prices are not a predictor of recession. However, in an Economist YouGov poll, the purchase price of the dollar, or at least the services and products Americans purchase, highly influence America's perception on how the economy is doing. So let us talk about what influences the price of gas at the pump. I'm going to talk about why gas prices go up and down, what impacts gas prices, and do presidents. Finally, where will the prices go underneath a Biden administration? Do you think the president can set the prices at the pump? If so, comment below. Critics of any president are quick to blame the commander-in-chief for things that are totally beyond his or her control. Donald Trump and his fellow Republicans took credit for low gasoline prices in 2019. And when George W. Bush was in office, Democrats blamed him for allowing gas prices to rise from $1.45 a gallon on his inauguration day to $4.05 a gallon by June of 2008. The truth is that no president, Democrat or Republican, a friend of big oil or supporter of alternative fuels, can do much of anything to affect the short-term price of oil and therefore gasoline. The average U.S. price of a regular grade gallon jumped almost 5 cents a gallon over the past 2 weeks to $2.50. And this is mainly caused by continuing rise in crude oil prices since November. According to Gas Buddy data, between 2009 and 2019, the estimated average price of a gallon of gasoline across the U.S. ranged from nearly $4 in April of 2010 to just $1.69 in February of 2016. It continued to fluctuate throughout the Trump administration. The estimated average price remained under $3 and crashed once again to below $2 in the spring of 2020. Well, this was because of the early days of the pandemic. Numerous things worldwide affect oil and gasoline price, with the cost of crude oil mainly driving the price of gas. Middle East wars, oil spills, embargoes, technological improvements, and new sources of oil affect supply, which has a tendency to cause prices to rise, while global and regional recessions tend to drive the price down, affecting demand, as we saw in 2009 financial crisis and the 2020 pandemic. According to CNN, drivers in the U.S. spent $267 billion on gasoline in 2020. Which is the lowest amount since 2004, and it's a decrease of more than $100 billion from 2019. Since late last year, oil markets have been rallying as the start of the vaccine rolls out worldwide, spurring prices of multi-month highs as investors look ahead to normalizing in fuel consumption. Experts say optimism is fueling this increase. Traders have been driving prices up on crude oil futures, which are prices that where they wager the commodity will be worth over the next weeks and months, because they believe we're getting back to everyday life soon, and increased economic activity increases the demand for gasoline. So how much are you paying at the pump? Comment below. According to U.S. Energy Information Administration, about 60% of the money you pay for a gallon of gas goes to pay for the crude oil that went into making it. Another 25% pays for the cost of refining, distribution, marketing, federal and state taxes, profit, all that other stuff. Anything that affects these factors can drive the final price at the pump. As the cost of production, a gallon of gas changes the supply curve. For example, A $10 rise in oil prices, well, that increased cost to gasoline refineries, resulting in about a 25-cent increase in gas prices over the long term. Like most of the things you buy, supply and demand affects both gas and oil prices. When the quantity supplied is greater than the quantity demanded, price falls. For example, the exploration of new U.S. shale oil reserves increased the supply of oil in 2014. Gas prices fell to their lowest levels in 5 years. But that shale oil boom reversed when low oil prices put many shale producers out of business, decreasing the supply of gasoline and increasing the price at the pump. Gas prices have tended to rise and fall in tandem with the cost of crude oil. For instance, between 2010 and 2014, oil prices never fell below $70 per barrel and frequently spiked to $100. The price of gas was also consistently high during that period, staying between $3 and $4 a gallon. In mid-2014, when the price of crude oil plummeted to less than $50 a barrel, gas prices tumbled to less than $2 a gallon. So what drives crude prices themselves is essentially basic supply and demand. Oil prices rise when the supply of gasoline decreases, or the demand for gasoline increases. Prices move in the opposite direction with the increase in supply or decrease in demand. So what's my final thoughts on this? Presidents can pursue policies that can influence gasoline prices in one direction or the other, but their ability to impact prices quickly is pretty limited. In 2018, President Trump did indeed move gasoline prices. Gasoline prices fell sharply because of oil price collapsed. President Trump influenced this by conning Saudi Arabia into increasing production and letting Iran continue to export oil. President Bush's energy policies weren't responsible for gasoline prices being below $2 a gallon in 2009, nor did President Obama's energy policies cause gasoline prices to fall in 2015 and 2016. What about Biden's agenda? Goldman Sachs doesn't see the 60-day moratorium on oil and gas leases and drilling permits on federal lands impacting near-term producer activity. But it does highlight that the new administration's climate plan priorities will increase production and financing costs long-term. A broader moratorium and Biden's move to block the Keystone XL project point to a similar regulatory shift. However, the EIA forecasts that gasoline prices will stay steady at an average of $2.37 in 2021 and $2.33 in 2022. So it doesn't appear as if the commander-in-chief is increasing the gas prices at the pump. This is just the normal ebb and flow of the economy. Tell me what you think in the comments below. But if you like this video and the content, please hit the like button and subscribe. When you subscribe, add in the comments, I subscribed. And as always, remember to trust but verify.